Hey guys, Tank here.
I'm Jalathis.
And I'm Kyle.
And we're doing something a little different today. We haven't given up on Marathon. We're dealing with some issues with the recording. We're still kind of working things out, I think. Still kind of figuring out how all this works. But anyway, I've been meaning to get around to recording this for a bit, because I really like the Game Boy Mega Man games. I've played the first one probably more than any of the others. So, you'll notice right away that things are a little different. We only actually have 4 Robot Masters to choose from. And you'd figure if you played the NES game, like, alright, so let's start with Cutman. Well, actually, no, we're starting with Elec Man. For as crazy as that sounds, you'll see why in a bit. So, we got our first stage hazard. It's a fan. And I like that they've got the one sitting here, so it demonstrates what it is and what it does in a place where it's not actually gonna hurt you.
Yeah, I was just about to comment on that, actually. Of course, we then immediately get into, and here's disappearing blocks above spikes.
Yup, and here's an example of that same principle done poorly. I really don't like the timing on these electric beams. It's pretty precise.
Yeah, they could do to be, like, have the cycle take half-second longer.
And I really hate when they pull that garbage with the blocks. Or I guess maybe they're more like slabs.
Yeah, they're not block-shaped like they usually are for Mega Man games.
I guess with the smaller screen, they decided the tile needed to be smaller. Ooh. Really?
Bye.
Lop.
I never mess up that jump. Okay, did I touch the beam there? You decide. Anyway, let's give this jump another shot. Okay,
There we go.
that's better.
Tricky.
And look, we actually have things to shoot in a Mega Man game. Fancy that. 'Cause it's just been stage hazards up to this point.
Yeah, we gotta be Jump and Shoot Man. If we're just Jump Man, we're playing an entirely different franchise.
Was that actually a franchise, or was it just the one game?
You know,
One game.
franchises can just be one game.
I mean, technically, I guess. And these Lightning Lords move pretty slowly. Uh, don't want to miss it.
They've also been relocated.
Yay, no feedings.
Would you say that those Lightning Lords are the only ones in the game?
Actually, I would.
Matt, how interesting. I'm glad that you were teaching us so much about this game.
No, we totally didn't flub a recording 5 minutes ago. What are you talking about? Oh, something I meant to comment about. The clouds are in the foreground. That's kind of neat.
Yeah, I like it. As long as it's not, you know, blocking stage hazards or anything.
Right. I hate it when games pull that garbage. Like, haha, got you. No, you're just a prick. And here we have the Wild Susie, just kind of being a roadblock.
Yeah, they're definitely not as interesting a thing to combine with the disappearing platforms as some of the others.
And this sure is a really long ladder that I have to completely restart from the beginning if I take a hit. You know, because that's fun. Making one tiny mistake and having to redo the entire segment.
Yeah, they didn't even have enough material to fill the entire ladder. They had to recycle that electric room.
Can I? There! Whew.
There we go.
Nice. I hate those. That version of the big eye only takes damage when it's... Okay. Ugh! The last enemy! I almost no-hit cleared the stage. Ugh. Oh well. So, since I feel the need to go over this again, I swear this is the weirdest shutter room I've ever seen in a Mega Man game. So we drop into it from above, on the right. There is one shutter door in the center instead of two with one on either side. The game doesn't pause as we're walking through it. And then we drop into the boss room on the left. It's really weird. So,
yeah, it's an unusual setup.
First thing you'll notice, Elec Man deals far less damage than he did in the NES game, where he kills you in 3 hits. And also, we can just kind of play hopscotch with him here, where we jump over his head and shoot him in the back, and jump over his head and shoot him in the back. And he never...
The mulberry bush. Monkey chased Elec Man.
And he never actually gets to fire his Thunder Beam at us. Oh, I missed. He's literally right in front of me, and I missed. And... oh, there we go. Ah! Ah! And we can jump around and shoot while the victory theme plays. Good. Well, that's kind of gruesome.
Yeah, like, I know it's robot parts, but it's still just a little bit unsettling.
It's still a cross-section of Mega Man's innards. Yep. Anyway, now I'll be going in weakness order here, so it'll be Iceman up next, because ice is weak to electric, of course. But I don't actually need most of the boss's weaknesses to beat them. I'll show you what I mean. So of course, since... really? So of course, since this is the ice level, we've got ice physics.
Everyone's favorite.
Yup. Oh, scale. Most of the time, those things aren't much of an issue. Ooh, ice. Ugh. Thankfully, we've got that really generous large health pellet up there, which just kind of invalidates this first little segment of the stage for whatever reason. Oh, and this is where we respawn. This is the respawn room. I'm not entirely sure why, except that there aren't really any more fitting rooms coming up, because we're not halfway through the stage. We're only about a quarter of the way through, I think. So, here's the real reason why I wanted to bring Thunderbeam into this stage. These things, the squirm dispensers. I believe that's what they're called. Also, Susie continuing to be Susie. Don't like that jump. I particularly don't like low ceiling jumps, but especially when they combine low ceiling jumps with ice physics and spikes. That's just terrible. Okay, so here's an interesting mechanic. I'm gonna let it go really quick. I don't remember what happens. I presume those are deadly if they fall on us, but as you can see, they're also solid, and there's a low ceiling. And I fell off the ladder while trying to demonstrate the low ceiling. But we need to traverse them in order to get through the room.
That's neat.
It's interesting, yeah. Also, that jump is pretty precise.
Yeah.
It took me forever to figure out what you're actually supposed to do in this room. Oh.
Huh.
Though weirdly, despite ostensibly being icicles, there's no ice physics on them, which is nice.
Yeah, I feel like that might be a little too much.
Yeah. Thankfully, now that we have Thunderbeam, this guy's much easier to kill. Big Eye.
Yeah, as far as, you know, boss weapons go, it seems pretty useful.
Oh, okay, let's get some solid footing here. Joe. Joe, your blaster only deals 1 damage. You are irrelevant. Okay. I'm not quite as confident with this gamepad as I am when I'm actually playing the game on my 3DS, so I'm a little nervous here. Specifically with those ice physics jumps. Ugh.
Yep.
Okay. So again, don't really need the weapon. At least I hope not. And you know...
Oh, is this what all of the,
Yes.
Weird.
I have no idea
Yeah.
why.
This
Hang
is
on, how do you-
consistent.
Yeah, I guess. There we go. Sliding backwards. Okay. Oh,
Floats.
Huh.
have to be a little precise, but it's not unfeasible. Oh. I mean, the funny thing is, those
Something about his pattern seems really goofy.
a little bit.
The floating.
I mean, there's the floating, there's the beeps.
Yeah.
He
Oh.
feels like he stepped out of a different game.
Hey! And Iceman is toast. But wait, was that a pun?
I don't think so. You can't toast ice.
Toast ice.
And we get Ice Slasher. Probably one of the best weapons in the entirety of the Mega Man series, if you ask me, just for its incredible usefulness
Huh.
and general utility. And it is also Fireman's weakness, which I am not going to show off because I don't actually need it to defeat him. But I think we'll be checking that out next time.
Alright.
See you then.